10 U.S. states on the brink. $12 billion already gone. Tourism down 42%. Truck traffic down 37%. And yet, no headlines. Canada passed 7 new laws, quietly. No press conference, no sanctions, just paperwork. And the fallout is staggering. This isn't diplomacy, it's strategic disengagement. And for millions of Americans, it's already too late to reverse course. You've probably never seen a policy shift this quiet trigger this much damage. In just 6 months, over $12 billion in cross-border losses. Trucking volume down 37%. Tens of thousands of tourism-dependent jobs vaporized. All because of 7 legal changes passed in Ottawa. Each one targeted at U.S. economic arteries. This is a story of soft retaliation, surgical targeting, and a preview of what cross-border economic warfare looks like in 2025. Let's break down how 7 Canadian laws put 10 U.S. states into economic freefall. Since March 2025, Canada passed 7 major laws that redefined its trade relationship with the U.S. Individually, mild. Together, a legal firewall. Digital platform tax applies a 3% tax on revenue generated by foreign tech companies inside Canada, directly hitting Google, Meta, Netflix, and others. It also creates compliance costs for U.S. firms operating Canadian user data. Border Rights Protection Act restricts cooperation with U.S. ICE authorities, disrupting joint border enforcement and cross-border logistics. Import sanitation ban. New health regulations block U.S. meat, produce, and alcohol not aligned with updated Canadian agricultural standards. Pesticide content, hormone use, and packaging are all being scrutinized. Energy Export Licensing Act requires new permits for energy exports to the U.S., especially hydro and natural gas. Permits now factor in political risk and reciprocity. Travel Safety Designation Act. Canada now issues formal travel advisories for U.S. states based on health, political violence, and legal instability. This affects insurance coverage, border wait times, and tourism planning, with real spending consequences. Tourism and Media Shield. Federal funds can no longer promote travel to U.S. cities. No more Disney packages, no more U.S. media co-productions. Automatic tariff trigger rule. Any new U.S. tariff leads to a mandatory Canadian retaliation within 72 hours. No debate. Let's count down the 10 U.S. states hit hardest by these laws. 10. North Dakota. Exports over $800 million in agri goods to Canada, mostly beef, wheat, soy. Canada's import sanitation ban has cut access. Grain elevators are at full capacity. Truck freight across the Manitoba border is down 37%. Hydro imports from Saskatchewan face new permitting delays. 9. California. Canada's digital platform tax could cost Google $380 million per year. Netflix is downsizing investment in Canada. Wine and citrus exports are being rejected under pesticide rules. Tourism from Canada, previously 1.4 million visitors annually, is collapsing. Even Hollywood is losing Canadian co-production deals to Australia and Germany. 8. Tennessee. Tourism-dependent cities like Nashville and Gatlinburg have seen a 26% drop in Canadian visitors. Whiskey exports face sanitation scrutiny. Memphis logistics routes are stalling. FedEx reports a decline in cross-border volume. Tennessee is also vanishing from Canadian media campaigns, shrinking its soft power. 7. Nebraska, home to a $12 billion beef industry, now losing contracts due to hormone regulations. Corn and soy stockpiles rising, seasonal job cuts in meat processing. Rural counties like Cuming and Dawson are reporting budget shortfalls in schools. 6. Minnesota, imports 20% of its power from Manitoba. Delays in licensing could spike electricity prices by 15 to 20%. Tourism from Canada down 31%. Minneapolis tech firms are losing Canadian clients due to data regulations. See the trend? Agriculture, energy, tourism, all under siege. 5. New York. 3.5 million Canadian visitors used to pump billions into New York City, Buffalo, and Niagara Falls. Now, tourism is down 28%. Wall Street is seeing shrinking fintech contracts as Canadian regulators blacklist U.S. data infrastructure. Export delays on processed foods and electronics are mounting. 4. Iowa. Canada was Iowa's #2 pork buyer. Now, entire shipments are blocked or rejected over feed additives. Fertilizer prices are spiking due to licensing on chemical imports. Ethanol plants are downsizing or shutting down entirely. Farm income is crashing, and with it, local economies. 3. Texas. The Energy Export Licensing Act is costing Texas tens of millions in lost Canadian contracts. Beef, citrus, and cotton exports are being held back. Tourism from Canada, especially snowbirds, is down 35%. San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas are seeing massive booking cancellations. Trucking links with Alberta are disrupted. 2. Michigan. Historically, America's bridge to Canada, and now one of its biggest victims. Canada's automatic tariff trigger is slamming auto parts, aluminum, and machinery. Cross-border contracts are collapsing. Tourism down 40% in border cities like Detroit and Traverse City. Even Michigan's apples and dairy are being blocked on labeling issues. 1. Florida. Once a $6.6 billion gold mine from Canadian snowbirds. Now, Canadian insurance firms refuse coverage for retirees in Florida. Tourism is down 42%. Disney, Miami, and the Keys are vanishing from Canadian booking platforms. The import sanitation ban just rejected major citrus shipments. Cruise bookings down, ports hit, seasonal jobs drying up. Florida isn't just losing tourists, it's losing its winter economy. Is this temporary? Not a chance. Canada's new laws reflect a structural pivot toward digital sovereignty, agricultural safety, political distancing from unstable regions. And it's not just Canada. Australia, Germany, and the UK are watching closely, preparing similar legal frameworks. Meanwhile, the US response has been muted. Some governors are scrambling, but Washington is silent. And with the 2026 election cycle heating up, it's unlikely trade policy will stabilize soon. If these laws remain, and they will, this quiet collapse may expand beyond 10 states, from tourism to tech, food to fuel. These 7 laws are redefining the US-Canada relationship. And if you live in one of these 10 states, you're likely already seeing it. Empty hotels, spiking grocery prices, canceled deliveries, job postings vanishing. The collapse isn't loud. It's legal, targeted, and almost invisible to traditional media. Send this to anyone who still thinks Canada's just playing nice.